これも計算のうちかジョジョという
この一瞬がジョジョの切断された腕に気を取られた一瞬がカズの運命を分けた。
当たり前だぜ。このジョジョは何から何まで。
カーズは二度と地球へは戻れなかった。
Where the hell am I? Is this real? Who are you? Do you know how to get out of here?
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
Oh for
Hello viewers and welcome to another episode of Trashtalk on Lancer. In today's episode, Duskwing. Duskwing doesn't refer to just one butterfly, it refers to an entire genus of butterfly family called the dusky wings that, you guessed it, have dusky wings. Some of them look vastly different, but some look almost exactly the same, making differentiating the species an incredibly difficult task. Named after this genus of butterfly family, the duskwing seeks to unleash the same confusion onto its opponents. Looking at its stat, it has very poor health but incredible evasion and average E-defense. It's quick on its feet while being really small at half-sized, but its heat cap is really poor. However, it can do tech action well with its average sensor range and tech attack bonus. Onto its traits, it has 3 of them. First is integrated hover flight, which let Duskwing hovers. Hover just mean you can move wherever the hell you want, even in the air. And unlike flying, you don't need to move in a straight line to maintain your flight. Second is Harlequin Cloak. During your turn, Duskwing is basically invisible, causing enemies to miss their shot half of the time. However, it's only on your turn. After the end of your turn and before the start of your turn, you turn visible. Third is Fragile. Duskwing is not a tough mech and it gets +1 difficulty for all hull checks and saves. Simply put, do not get suplex. Onto its weapon mounts, you have 2 of them, 1 double auxiliary and 1 flex. It also has 6 base system points allowing for decent number of customization. Onto its core power, Duskwing can activate Hall of Mirrors. For the rest of your scene, every time you move or boost, you will leave behind a hologram on exactly where you started. This hologram doesn't really do anything, it can be walked through by your allies and doesn't actually take up any spaces. But when your enemies start their turn, walk through or move close to the hologram, it will explode for 1d6 energy damage if they don't pass an agility save to have the damage. Besides that, you can also teleport to one of the holograms within range 50 with a quick action. In doing so, all other holograms generated will explode, causing the same previously mentioned effects to everyone around it. You also can't make any more hologram until the start of your next turn. This core power essentially doubles as a damage dealer and an instant escape plan in case you are in a sticky situation. A perfect core power to have for something so agile and fragile. Onto the rest of the license, you get Veil Rifle and SSC Neurospike Mark I in the first section. Veil Rifle is a rather strange line weapon. Like all line weapons, all enemies lined up upon its firing will get damaged, but allies caught in the line of fire will not get damaged, they instead get covered in fabulous energy and are now considered to be in soft cover until the energy dissipates at the start of your next turn. Oh, and it's also accurate. Use it well. SSC Neurospike Mark I is an invasion upgrade system. Like all other invasion upgrades, it gives 2 additional options. Shrike Code, cause an enemy of your choice to take 2 heat every time your target makes an attack roll until the end of your next turn. Mirage, have you hacking your invaded target's sensor, causing them to either see you or one of your allies you can see to be invisible to them. In the second section, aside from Duskwing frame itself, you get Burst Launcher and Flicker Field. Burst Launcher is a grenade launcher of sort. While its damage looks bad, it can impair the enemy it struck upon a critical hit at an incredibly long range until the start of your next turn. On top of that, it can arc over cover while being rather accurate, there's barely any way for your enemies to avoid getting hit by it. Flicker Field causes your mech to be too dazzling to be shot at every time you move or boost. What this means is that you are treated as invisible to your enemies against your very next incoming attack, whether it hits or misses, the field will disperse afterward. Just to remind you, you cannot stack the invisibility with multiple move or boost, and you aren't literally invisible so you can't just hide with the system because you are directly opposite of it right now. At the final section, you get Stun Crown and Oasis. Stun Crown does not stun people. Instead, all enemies not in cover from you in a small area when you trigger it, will get jammed if they failed their agility save and will get impaired if they failed their system save. However, any enemy in cover from you will not be affected at all. This is a very powerful tool, but beware of its limited tag, so use it wisely. Oasis.
Ready? Ready.
Is kinda like that and also kinda not like that. Upon activation, until the start of your next turn, you can only move and boost in a straight line, and every time you move, you form a wall of hologram behind you. These walls are one space high, and can grant hard cover and resistance to energy damage for any character behind them, both allies and enemies. The hologram does not block movement or serve as obstruction because they are hologram. They will also last until you activate Oasis again, or until the current scene ends. As a conclusion, Duskwing is a highly mobile, evasive hacker that's incredibly difficult to be cornered and capable of dealing real damage. Whether it is to cause massive confusion, support your allies, or generally being slippery flying bug, Duskwing can do it all.